Assalamu alaikum and good morning my dear students. How are you all? Hope you all are doing well. So I welcome all of you to today's biology class. So students, what we learned in the last class, in the previous chapter, we learned about various life processes, is it, which helps to maintain our body functions. And today we are beginning a new chapter, that is control and coordination. What is it? Control and coordination. What do you mean by control and coordination? It is simply the working of our body in a systematic manner. Okay. So we know that our body is a complex one. Right? The processes in our body is very complex and complicated one. Even though it is working in a very efficient manner, right? It is working in a very efficiently. Is it? It is because of control and coordination. When to start a process, when to end it, how to start a process, how to control it. Is it? All these things are done by the body. Okay. For that, we have a special system in our body that is called nervous system and endocrine system. Okay, so these two systems in our body are controlling and coordinating all the functions in our body. Okay, so today we will be discussing about the nervous system. Okay, so let's look into the topic in detail.
So first of all, we will discuss about nervous system. So before that, you have to be familiar with some of the terms. So first one is stimulus. What do you mean by stimulus? It is any external or internal factor that causes a living organism to react. Okay, so for example, if you are touching a hot pan, what you will do? You will suddenly remove or withdraw your hand from that. Is it? So what is stimuli here? The hot pan or the heat is the stimuli here. Is it that will make you to react? That hot pan, touching the hot pan is making you to react. Is it? So here the hot pan or heat is the stimulus. So next one is response. Response is a specific reaction shown by a living organism towards a stimulus. So as the earlier mentioned example, you are withdrawing your hand because of the stimulus, that is the hot pan. Okay. So the withdrawing of your hand is a response. Understood? So next one is impulse. Impulse is an electrical wave or signal that travels across a neuron and carries specific messages. Okay, what is a neuron? That we will discuss later. So it is an electrical wave or electrical signal that carry messages. You just understood like that. The next one is receptors. So receptors are a group of organs that receive sensory impulses and convey them to the brain. So receptors are simply the sense organs, okay, which receive the stimulus. You know that if we see something, if we see that a tiger is running behind us, we are first seeing the tiger through our eyes, which is a sense organ. So eye is a receptor here, which receive the message and which will convey to the brain. Okay, so receptors are simply the sense organs which receive the stimuli. The next one is effectors. Effectors are a group of organs that show responses to a specific stimulus. Okay, so that means the effectors means we are receiving the stimulus through the sense organs, right? And but the effector organ is for example, if you are touching a hot pan, the stimuli, the receptor is your skin, which is a sense organ, right? You are touching the hot pan with your skin. So here the receptor organ will be the skin, but the effector organ will be your muscles present in your hand, which will make you to remove your hands. Is it? So the effector organ will be the muscles present in the hand. Okay, so the receptor organs and the effector organs will be different. So now let's discuss about the nervous system. So like we have discussed that structural and functional unit of any system are its cells. In the same way, cells of a nervous system are called neurons. Okay, our nerve cells are called neurons, which is the largest cell in our body. Is it? Now let's look at the structure of neuron. The neuron have four main parts, that is cell body or cyton, dendrites, axon and nerve ending. Okay, so cell body is somewhat star shaped with many hair-like structures protruding out of the margin, and this cell body has a nucleus, spherical nucleus and cytoplasm. Okay, next is dendrites. It is a short and branched tips of the nerve cell stretching out from the cell body, and it will detect the information from the outside. Okay, it will receive the stimuli. Okay, so dendrites are the short branched tips of the nerve cell. And next one is axon. Axon is a long cylindrical structure arising from the cell body. From the cell body you can see there is a long cylindrical structure. And what is the function of this structure? The information from the outside will travel through the axon and reaches the next nerve. Okay, so it will receive the information and it will carry to the next nerve. Okay, that is the function of axon. And next we have nerve ending. It is a branched ending of the axon which help in this transmission of messages. Okay, it will carry one from the one neuron, it will transfer the message to the next nerve cell. So next you have to know about the synapse. So synapse is the gap between two nerve cells, okay, across which the impulses pass to reach the next nerve cells. It is the gap between two nerve cells, that is the gap between the axon of the nerve ending, the ending or nerve ending of one nerve cell and with the dendrite of another nerve cell. Okay, the gap between these two is called a synapse. Now let's look how this message is transmitted. It is called a neurotransmission. Okay, the message transmitted from one neuron to another is called a neurotransmission. How it will occur? So neurotransmission is simply the traveling of impulse to the brain through nerve cells. Okay, the message, it is a traveling of message to the brain through the nerve cells. So impulse means what? It is a signal transmitted along the nerve fiber. Okay, it is a signal transmitted or the message carried. Any change in the environment or any change in the environment is detected by the specialized tips of the nerve cell called what? Dendrites, in the form of a message. Okay, so any stimulus will be identified or detected by the nerve cell. Which part of the nerve cell? Dendrites of the nerve cell in the form of message. And dendrites are present in the sense organs. Okay, these dendrites will be present in all sense organs. So after receiving this message by the dendrites, what will happen? A chemical reaction will occur and a electrical impulse will be created. Okay, after receiving a message, a chemical reaction will occur and after that a chemical impulse will be created. And this electrical impulse travels from the dendrite to the cell body and then along the axon to the nerve ending. Okay, so the dendrite will identify the stimulus and it will create an electrical impulse and it will be transferred to the cell body, and from there through the axon it will reach the nerve ending. And at the nerve ending, the electrical impulse set off the release of chemicals. Certain chemicals are released at the nerve ending, and what is in between another nerve? There is synapse, right? So the synapse will across the synapse, the impulses pass to the next nerve cell. Okay. So the chemicals released at the nerve endings cross the synapse and start a similar electrical impulse in a dendrite of the next neuron, and this process will goes on. So this is how the nervous impulses travel in the body. Okay, so a similar synapse finally allows delivery of such impulses from neurons to other cells, such as muscle cells or gland. Okay, so next we will look at different types of neurons. So they are sensory neuron, motor neuron, and association or relay neuron. Okay, so sensory neuron means these neurons receive signals from the sense organ. What is it? These neurons receive signals from a sense organ. And motor neuron means these neurons send signals to a muscle or a gland. Okay, they will carry the signals, or they will send the signals to a muscle or gland. And next one is a relay neuron or association neuron. It is these neurons relay the signals between sensory neuron and motor neuron. That means they have both the functions. Okay, they will receive and send the signals. Okay, so this is about the neuron. So the neuromuscular junction, you can see in your text about the neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction is the point where a muscle fiber comes in contact with a motor neuron. What was motor neuron? Which will send the signals to the muscles or gland, right? So the neuromuscular junction is the point where the muscle fiber comes in contact with a motor neuron, which carry nerve impulse from the central nervous system. Okay, so that means it is the point where a muscle fiber comes in contact with a motor neuron. Okay, next we will discuss about the central nervous system. So you know that in the human, the nervous system includes the brain and the spinal cord. So the brain and spinal cord together constitute the central nervous system. So the central nervous system receives the message from all parts of the body, and it will integrate it, or it will coordinate it. Okay, and you know that about the brain. Brain is the deciding organ or controlling organ of our body. And what about spinal cord? Spinal cord is a long tubular bundle of neurons which carry information between the brain and the rest of the body. Okay, and where the spinal cord is situated? Spinal cord is enclosed in the vertebral column. Okay, so spinal cord will be seen inside the vertebral column. And what about brain? Brain will be enclosed in the skull. Okay, so first we will discuss about the human brain. So the brain has three such major parts or regions, namely forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Okay, so the forebrain is the main thinking part of the brain. The forebrain contains the parts like cerebrum, hypothalamus and thalamus. Okay, the forebrain contains cerebrum, hypothalamus and thalamus. These are the parts of the brain. And forebrain is the largest part of the brain. Okay, and the specialized separate areas of the forebrain are specialized for hearing, smell, sight and so on. So next we have a midbrain and hindbrain. So the involuntary actions like heartbeat, salivation, vomiting, etc. will be controlled by this midbrain and hindbrain. And hindbrain is divided into two parts like cerebellum and medulla oblongata. So cerebellum is of the hindbrain controls the balance, posture and smooth movement of muscles. Okay, so cerebellum of the hindbrain controls the balance, posture and smooth movement of muscles, whereas medulla of the hindbrain controls heart rate, breathing rate and reflexes such as sneezing, swallowing, vomiting, etc. That is, the involuntary actions will be controlled by the medulla oblongata or medulla of the hindbrain.
So students, in today's class we discussed about the nervous system, right? In that we discussed about the structure of neuron and structure of brain. Okay, so hope you all understood all the topic. If you have any doubt, we will clear it in the live class. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.